Alright guys, welcome back to Megaman X5. We are still in the throes of our X playthrough as we are trying to collect the last couple of items before we go to these Zero Virus stages. So first things first, we need to go get the Heart Tank and the EX Tank that are in this stage. Fortunately, they're both fairly close to the beginning, so it's not going to take us that long to get get them. As long as we don't spike ourselves. We're really good at doing that. Okay. That time we could spike ourselves because we got the Heart Tank. We got what we needed for that little area. In case you're wondering, the Falcon Armor does not have an air dash. Instead, it only has the flight mode, which is activated by jumping a second time. Alright, now to show you how to get this, like I said, you need the Quake Blazer, you fire it, and hope that the random decides to be in your favor. Alright, and that's all that we need from here, so let's go ahead and get out. Alright, so there's still 3 Heart Tanks left to obtain. The Heart Tank in Squid Adler stage, the Heart Tank in Axel Rose Reds, and the Heart Tank in his? No. Did we get his? I don't remember. Alright, well, anyway. So next, let's go and finish out the Gaia armor, because we need that in order to get the remaining tanks. So first, let's go here with the Falcon armor. I really should get around to putting parts on the Falcon armor so that, you know, make things a little bit easier, but eh. Yes, Falcon armor is very useful. Unassisted flight is very useful. But like I said, it is not completely invulnerable like Dr. Light said it was. So there are some enemies that can pierce through the Falcon armor's flight mode. Not to mention, spikes still pierce through the Falcon armor's flight mode. But the flight mode does last an incredibly long time. Now, when he says you'll be able to walk on the damaged area, what that means is that the Gaia armor is completely immune to wall and floor spikes. So you can walk on spikes without needing to worry about getting, or without worrying about the whole nasty little instant death part. Ceiling spikes will still kill you. There's no way to avoid that, unfortunately. As will getting crushed. Alright, so now let's go ahead and go over to Skywers so that we can get the last piece of the Gaia armor. Now, you can get to this with Zero using a double jump or using the Falcon armor. It's a lot easier to get there with the Falcon armor. Alright, so all you need to do is just fly straight up. Yep. And get infected. Try that again. Alright, so we have all of the Gaia armor now. Yay! So let's go back to Dark Dizzy so we can get the last sub-tank. We're going to need to take the Falcon armor into this stage, but before we do that, let's actually give it some parts so that, you know, it has a little bit of survivability instead of just having to tank damage. The Gaia armor does not have the ability to equip any parts whatsoever, so keep that in mind if you plan on using it. It is actually an incredibly powerful armor, however. The basic Buster Shot is more powerful than the normal uncharged pellet, though the charged shot is not nearly as powerful. I actually want to give him the ultimate Buster because he can actually use the ultimate Buster effectively. All right. So as you notice, with the jumper part equipped, X jumps significantly higher than he did without it. And also, with the Falcon armor, we don't need to wait for no stinking moving platform. Okay. I guess I already got the hard tank in this area, so let's go ahead and quit. Alright, so we've got 2 hard tanks left to collect. Well, 3 hard tanks. Oh, actually, I don't think I got his, because his requires using the gravity manipulators. Yeah, I missed his. I'll need to come back. I'll need to go back in there again to get it. But first, let's get the 2 Gaia armor hard tanks out of the way. First, we have to go through the stupid ride chaser segment again. Give me a minute. I'm probably going to die a couple times. Alright, let's keep track. Death count 1. Death count 2. We're good at this game. Okay, only 2. Alright, so now as you can see, X is slow. Slow. But his dash can... well, actually, I thought his dash could damage enemies, but I guess I was wrong. Also, if you notice, his bullets do not fully cross the screen, and actually, the more you charge it, the less distance the bullets cover. If you notice, fully charged. Okay, never mind. The further they go. Okay. But the other thing, X doesn't slide down walls while in the Gaia armor. And like the Falcon armor, the Gaia armor does have a Giga attack. Which is basically just a big front fireball, which does absolutely nothing against invincible enemies. Damn it. X also takes significantly less damage in the Gaia armor than he does in the other armors. It's like a 75% damage reduction, I think. And immunity to spikes! I laugh at your moving platforms. However, you do not have an air dash. So, just like with the Falcon armor, you also don't have free and unassisted flight, so that's something else to keep in mind. Okay, so you can either destroy these with a charge shot, or if you dash into them, it knocks them to the side. And we've got the heart tank, so now we can go ahead and quit. Now be careful, if you do destroy the blocks and you decide to dash underneath them, they can crush you and instantly kill you. So, yeah. I do not like that music distortion. Wait, actually, we don't want to go there. Let's go here. Alright, time to get the heart tank in this stage. Once again, this is a heart tank that only X is able to obtain. Zero cannot obtain it under any circumstances, so there is no such thing as a perfect Zero-only game. Yes, you can use the blocks to crush enemies, if you so desire. Okay, now this is the tricky part. Because basically now we have to play block puzzle. It's not really that hard. Basically, it's just getting the block over here so that you can dash jump to the heart tank. And that's it. Alright, now let's go get that last heart tank in Necrobat stage, or Dizzy stage, or whoever the hell he wants to be. And then we can start the Sigma stages. Yay! We can actually get around to completing the game. Alright, this time we're going to take the Falcon armor in again because flight. Now remember, you cannot go into flight from a dash jump, so you can only do it from normal jumps. So if you like flying, don't dash. Or just fall into a pit and die. Thank you, enemy. I probably would have died there if that enemy didn't show up. Alright, time for Gravity Screw. The heart tank is around... There it is. Alright, so what we need to do is we need to swap gravity back. Ooh. Now this is the tricky part, because we need to make sure that we don't fly too high, that we hit the spikes and die. Alright. Yay! We have 100%ed with X. Okay, so before we actually go into the virus stages, let's actually rearrange our parts a little bit. Okay, so let's get rid of Hyper Dash. And turn on Jumper so that we can jump high. Quick charge, everything else is good, so in we go. By the way, this stage sucks. There's a reason why it gives you an extra life right off the bat. And that reason is coming up in just a few seconds. Quick Man Death Lasers! Oh, and this is the Zero Virus. The Zero Virus is like getting hit with 2 Sigma viruses at once. And it also makes 2 attempts to try and hit you when it shows up. So you have to be careful. Wow, there's so much lag. Yes, instant death, Quick Man Death Lasers. Now, just like in Mega Man 2, you can use the Darkhold to freeze them, if you are so inclined. which I think I'm going to have to do. And die anyway. Thankfully, death is a slap on the wrist, because guess what? Full ammo! Unfortunately, it does not also give me full sub-tanks, which is unfortunate. But I think I've already filled those up anyway, so that shouldn't be too much of a problem. Alright, come on. Okay. Safe. Oh, crap. Forgot about that part. So I don't feel like dealing with it. Alright, so time for the boss. So, as the nostalgia of the Quickman Death Laser showed you, our boss is weak to thunder. And is another Mega Man boss that has been weak to thunder. And as the terrifying music that is now playing should tell you, meet the Shadow Devil. Don't touch the green outline, it will hurt you. Now, if you are playing on normal, or rather on easy mode, not only are all bosses always at level 1, the Shadow Devil's eye will always appear on the foot, so very easy to hit. On normal and extreme mode, however, the eye moves around, so it's not always on the same spot, as you can see. You generally have enough time to get 2 shots in, but my aim is terrible, so I'm only getting 1 shot. As you can see, it is a traditional devil fight. Terrifying, frantic, parts flying all over the place, minimal weakness, or minimal weak spot availability. You know, the usual. Thankfully, you have the ability to duck, which makes it significantly easier than the Mega Man 3 Devil, where you only had the ability to slide. Missed it. Fortunately, we have a very large amount of ammo with which to dodge this guy. Oh wait, did I forget? Yeah, it has a new trick. As if it wasn't bad enough already. Did I say 1 new trick? No, no. By the way, that is instant death if it crushes you. Fortunately, it's actually much easier at this point, or at this stage. Well, except when it decides to do this. Okay, we've almost got it dead. One or two more hits. I actually preferred going into Skull Tank mode because then that means that it's really easy to hit, and it's really easy to dodge its attack. And that was the Shadow Devil. Let's never fight it again. We're gonna have to. Alright, on to the next Sigma stage. This time we're actually going to want to take the Gaia armor with us, and you'll see why when we get to the boss. Makes it a little bit more difficult going with the Gaia armor instead of with the 4th armor or Falcon, but it makes the boss significantly easier. Man, this background is lagging my system so bad. Crap. Yeah, this is the problem. This is one of the reasons why it's not always the best idea to bring the Gaia armor. Because your shot does not go full screen. It does not go anywhere near full screen. Fortunately, you can just say, screw you, spikes. Okay, now let's go here. Some very useful items. Alright, time for the boss. Now, if that one segment in the, as we ascended looked familiar, there's a reason. That was the Sigma climb from X1. Now we have to fight the Rangda Bangda Mark II, which you might remember was that really stupid tribal face thing with the 3 eyes. And this is why we want the Gaia armor, because spikes! You have to actually destroy each of the different eyes, or each of the color eyes. Now, one of the other things that this guy can do, which you're probably not going to actually see during this fight, is the other reason why we brought the Gaia armor into this fight is that in addition to the spikes on the teeth, or for the bottom, it can also protrude spikes from the walls, either the top half or the bottom half, while the walls are closed. So, by bringing the Gaia armor, we completely eliminate the hazards of the room, and instead just get to fight it fair. And by fair, I mean we get to beat the crap out of it. Alright, now it's time to get the final upgrade of the game. But before we do that, we need to do some part rearranging. So, hang on just a moment. We need unarmored X for this. Let's see here. Alright. Because we want to take X alone, unarmored, into the final Sigma virus stage, and we need the jumper part to get through some of the area, or to do some of the jumps. It's not absolutely necessary, but it makes it a lot easier. And now we just want to. Now we just want to go and spike ourselves. But that's okay. We want to get our life down, or we want to lose all our lives anyway. But not that soon. Alright, try this again. Alright, this is where we need the jumper part for, and you'll see why in just a moment. Specifically here. And now we drop. And here is the final upgrade of the game. Now, this armor actually exists in all 3 of the PlayStation Mega Man X games, but we can't actually display or demonstrate it until we get to the, or until we escape out, because I'm not actually going up against the boss as regular X. So give me a moment while I go spike myself. I have way too many self-inflicted deaths here. Alright, even though it's getting close to the time that I normally call it a night, we're going to actually finish out the X playthrough tonight. So, because there's only one more stage after this. So we'll just go ahead and run through to the end. Yes, we have the ultimate armor, and yes, it does save to the file. So even if I were to quit and come back, I will still have the ultimate armor. And like the 4th armor and the Falcon armor, the ultimate armor can equip 2 parts. So let's go ahead and give it, actually, we'll give it Buster Plus and Quick Charge. Actually, no, we'll give it Jumper. Alright. And it does the exact same thing that it did in X4, which I never actually was able, or which I never actually got around to demonstrating. Like Dr. Light said, you have infinite Nova Strikes. So, Spike. Need to be careful. I keep forgetting, the first half of this level is all spikes. Okay, so the Nova Strike is the Giga Attack from X4 of the 4th armor. Spike. But it kills any enemy, or any normal enemy in one hit, and will cripple any boss. Won't really cripple the boss, but it will kill them in... It will put them at critical health and kill them in 2 hits. Now, the thing of it is, the Giga Attack, or the Nova Strike, is an aerial move, so you can only do 1 per jump. So keep that in mind. In X4, I believe it does not count as an aerial move, so you can chain them back and forth. Oh. We're good at this game, folks. Unfortunately, the hover boots also is an aerial move, which means that you cannot Nova Strike from hovering. And as you can see, Nova Striking covers significantly more ground than an aerial dash does. Alright, it's time for the boss! Hey look, it's the Dr. Wily's insignia. What's Zero doing here? And now we get the Hunter vs. Hunter. Zero fights exactly like he did if you ever fought him in Megaman X2, with some minor adjustments. For example, his ground pound attack covers full screen, and instead of just the area around him. And he does the Twin Buster Shot followed by the Beam Saber Slash. Only this time the Beam Saber Slash actually comes in on you. Now, you always fight Zero here, no matter what. Alright. That's enough of that, Zero. Stop it. Alright. So, if you end up losing Zero to the shuttle mission, you instead fight a superpowered Maverick Zero. I don't know if you'd actually be able to see it on YouTube or over the live stream, but if you looked really closely while Zero was exploding, you would actually see a double of him run through X. Which is why he says he never expects him to use the Soul Body, which was the weapon from Split Mushroom. Though actually it is, it's basically what Zero gets, or the Twin Dream, which Zero gets from Axl Rose right in this. It works just like Soul Body. Or works like X's Soul Body, I should say, from X4. Now, you can actually begin with the ultimate armor by inputting a code at the beginning of the game, but you can also just earn it normally. This is actually the only game, or the only X game, where the ultimate armor is actually available through normal gameplay. You can actually get it in X8 in the post-game through normal means, but otherwise it's X5 is the only time that you can get it before Sigma without having to input a special code. X4 requires a code to unlock, and X6 requires a code to unlock. It doesn't appear in X7, but X7 has its own share of problems. Alright, so time to go face that evil bald guy once again. Only this time we're just going to Nova Strike the crap out of him. But first we have to go through trippy cyberspace area. And yes, those are instant death spikes, so don't touch them. Oh. That's what happens when you Nova Strike in the wrong direction. Or Nova Strike too far. That's fine. Like I said, dying is a slap on the wrist. If you continue from the last checkpoint you reached. So alright, time for the boss refights. Like I said, they are all level 96. There is absolutely no point to using the boss weaknesses. Just Nova Strike the crap out of them. Because you will run out of weapon ammo before they run out of health. Like, even if you took every energy upgrade, you would still run out of ammo before the bosses run out of health. So instead, just turn into an invincible flying death energy thing and beat them all. Yeah, that's one of his little tricks, is he can health drain you, just like Shademan could in Megaman 8. or sorry, Mega Man 7. And actually, Launch Octopus does the same thing if he grabs you in his whirlwind attack in Mega Man X1. Expect me to just spam R2 for more or less the rest of the game, because that's about all you really need to do at this point. But this way you'll at least be able to see what the boss's attacks look like. Alright, we're almost done. 3 more to go. Cool guys don't look at explosions. They just blow things up and walk away. Okay, so the last one is the whale, who is actually a guy that you do not want to Nova Strike to death, actually, because of those, you know, nasty little spikes he has behind him. At least not until the second half of the fight. So let's go ahead and get his weakness prepared, and we'll actually fight him normally, at least for around 2/3 of the fight. Because we'll have enough ammo to take him mostly down, just not all the way. We'll have enough ammo to get him to the other half. Keep in mind, these blocks can actually crush you against the wall, so... And what his normal attack pattern is, he extends these blocks out to a certain point. Here, I'll show you. And then once he's created enough, he will then send out a bunch of goo shavers, and then he will suck them back. Only this time, the patterns will change, and there will be spikes, and he's firing missiles! So we're just going to blast him and break it. And this is why you just come in and blast him with the Sea Slasher. Alright, should be switching over to the other side pretty soon. Yep, crap. There we go. Yeah, don't want to get crushed up against the spikes. Alright, time for the final area. So yes, very cyberspacey, as you can see. But the nostalgia doesn't end there, because disappearing, reappearing blocks. Like I said, this was intended to be the end of the Megaman X series, so they... And also... Oh, crap. And I fall into a pit. That's fine. But they intended this to end the X series, so they crammed as much nostalgia into this game as possible. Throwbacks and references to all of the games in the X, in both the X and original series, actually, because you've got the Dr. Wily symbol showing up in the fight versus with X and Zero. You've got the fight against the Shadow Devil, the fight against Rangda Bangda Mark II. Need to not do that. The Falcon armor can fly across that gap, no problem. Nova Strike, however, doesn't quite fly far enough. Alright, but yes, the whole pseudo-cyberspace area. Come from the last one. The sad thing was, I almost made that too. It's fine. Getting to Final Sigma is the hardest part of the level. The actual Final Sigma is rather easy, unless you're using the Gaia armor, which is actually is still fairly simple. Thankfully, these disappearing and reappearing blocks are nowhere near as evil as the ones from the older Mega Man games. Alright. Final showdown time. Let's go. Let's go kill that evil bald dude guy. Hey, look, it's the same music from the very first stage. Sigma is fairly easy. Or at least the first phase is fairly easy. The second phase, well, yeah, it's nowhere near as bad as X4's final phase was. But we've got one last bit of nostalgia. Meet Gamma Sigma. And yes, that is as in Gamma from Megaman 3. Alright, so the way this works is Sigma can only be damaged while he is materialized. And officially, his weakness is supposed to be the spike ball, the weapon from Axel the Red. However, all that does is give him an incredible amount of invincibility frame, so which is why we Nova Strike the hell out of him. And no, you cannot permanently destroy the hands. Alright, well, Sigma is dead, so enjoy the ending. I do not like that music distortion. Alright guys, and that was Mega Man X5, at least the X side of the story. There's still actually 2 other endings to get. One for having Zero, taking Zero through the final stage, which we will do in a dedicated Zero playthrough. And there's also a 3rd ending where if Zero goes Maverick, which I'll probably do at another point and just show the final stages that way. Basically from the Maverick Zero fight to the end of the game. But join me on, well, once the credits, I'll let the credits roll so you guys can see everything. But once that goes through, join me on Tuesday when we're going to do a dedicated Zero playthrough of the game and watch Zero go Maverick right as I launch the shuttle. But we'll deal with that when that happens. And that way you can see Zero's side of the story. We'll also be doing a different Maverick order than normal, because we'll be going after the shuttle parts first instead of the Enigma parts. Alright, well, enjoy the credits. I'll be back in just a minute. Alright, now one other thing I should mention. You remember how you saw Zero with the hole through his chest, missing an arm, and, you know, half the man he used to be? Well, basically, that is the reason why X5 was supposed to be the final game in the X series, was because that's exactly the state that Zero was in when he was first discovered in Mega Man Zero 1, which, if you saw the beginning of my Let's Fail at Mega Man Zero already, you'll remember that one cutscene when Ciel released the Cyber Elf to revive him. But there we go. That's Mega Man X5 X-Side in an hour 45, with somehow managing to get X from a B rank to a rank SA. I don't know how, but I'm not going to question it. Alright guys, thanks for tuning in. Have a great night. See you on Tuesday.